Okay, we're going to go over question number 32. This is the last question for the review for test 2. Question number 32, you're going to go back to stat to enter the data. Stat, edit, enter. I already entered the data that is in this question number 32. I entered the x values under my list 1 and my y values under list 2. So after you enter the data, you are going to go to stat calc and then option 4, and then you're going to press enter. So again, after you enter the data, we're going to go back to stat, then over to calc, and then option 4 for linear regression. So the calculator will give you the values of A and the values of B. So the values of A is the same thing as the slope, the number in front of the x, and the B or the y-intercept, that one they still use the same letters. So A is the only one that replaces the M in the slope. So you will round it according to the number of decimal places in the problem. So when you look at these answers, we have 0.0437, so it's 0.044. That's where this coefficient of x came from. The B is 18.364, but they only wanted 2 decimal places apparently for the B. So what you're going to do, that will be just replace your A and your B here. The calculator gives you those values. Since the slope is positive, the answers will not be C and will not be A. It will be between these two exercises. And again, I recommend that you maximize and try to find the match with the data that you have estimated in this case. So what we're going to do in the other ones is really evaluating at different values for X. Part A says predict the value Y for X equals 499. So 499 replaces the value of X. You can enter all these in your calculator the way you see it, and you're going to get that the Y hat is equal to 40. And since the X is within the scope of the data that we have, that's the reason why we do not select not meaningful. Because just because you can get a Y value or a prediction doesn't mean that it's meaningful. It has to be within the range of the data that we enter in the calculator. So predict the value Y when X equals 643. So when you look at here, 643 is within the range of values for X. So you replace that for X, multiply by A, and then add B for part B, and you get 47. As for part C, X is 345. If you look at this, 345 is not within the range of values for X. So therefore, you have to say in here that it's not meaningful. Notice that if you were to find it, you will have answer 34. We did find it, but that's why I like to check the X to make sure that it's within the range of values of X values in the data that we use to create the linear regression equation. Predict the value for Y when X is 726. 774 is the highest value, so 726, it is within the range. You replace it in the linear regression formula, and the final answer is 50. So that's it for the review for test 2.